This is the light in this dark world, and today I'm going to make a video that will talk about and address the problems that have been going on in Alice Springs in Australia. And just 7 days ago, or I should say last week, I've made a video, or actually I was in a live stream with ET talking about all the problems, and it was live. So that being said, I'm going to play it and to like a certain point, and I'm going to give out some scriptures by the way too. So here it goes. Australia is suffering from there's many other problems like economy and all that. Now let's talk about the crime. Who's ready to talk about the crime? You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Should I play the video?
What's in it, just so I know before?
It's about the gangs that's terrorizing the centre of Australia.
You can play it as long as there's nothing that could get the video censored.
There's the N word.
Okay, how much of it you want to play?
I want to play a little bit, and we can talk about it. Now, straight on the bat, Los Angeles. Now, I'm going to question people. Where do you think this video was taken? Los Angeles or in the middle of Australia?
It's probably in Australia, if I had to take it.
You can probably see. You wonder who's influencing the gang. Okay, I'm just going to play it.
We the crip niggas.
Don't say, bro. This is our street. We own this shit.
You own it? Do you guys cause trouble or not?
Sometimes. Yeah, we own this shit, cuz.
Alice Springs. In Alice Springs? Yeah. Is it Alice Springs like America? No.
A-Town. A-Town, we call it A-Town.
A-Town. Have you minute for Rebel News in Alice Springs City Centre?
Yeah, I just want to say that this was it's a video that I've shared 2 videos from Rebel News. So what I'm going to do is play half of this, then I'm going to talk about just the latest news that have been going on in Alice Springs. Okay, here it is.
We're here today to talk to the locals, to hear from them in their words about the issues affecting this community. And if you want to see our reports throughout the week, therealvoice.com.au, you can see all our reports there. And if you think that this kind of journalism is important, especially after what the taxpayer-funded reporter did here, then consider chipping in to cover our expenses. Therealvoice.com.au. Have a listen to what the people of Alice Springs have to say.
That's the ages of them. Oh. They're young ones. They're the trouble. And then more. But they'll carry a machete, mate. Okay, yo. What?
Okay, now you should see the machete coming up.
I got stabbed in here 30-something times just before the trouble. And then more. But they'll carry a machete, mate.
I think, where is it?
Okay, yo.
Oh, there. You saw it?
I got stabbed in here 30-something times just before the media got here. More. But they'll carry a machete, mate.
Where was it?
Okay, yo.
Oh, missed it. That was the machete, hey?
I got stabbed in here 30-something times just before the media got here.
People thought we were nuts to come here.
Yeah, no, you kind of are. Like, it is pretty ruthless out here. So, like, we've had machetes pulled on us. We've had cars stolen. We've had cars jumping gutters just like a metre or 2 away from us and whatnot. So it gets pretty crazy out here. This is probably a quiet night tonight, but every time we say that, it tends to pop off.
How old are you?
17, my brother. I'm 17.
And what time do you go home?
Daybreak it, bro. You know. Keep it that way.
You don't want to go home. Why not? Why not be at home at night? So you can see police here just patrolling on dirt bikes and moving on, groups of young youths, some of them starting to get a bit rowdy. It's still only early.
Oh, I've only been here for the last few months.
Where are you from?
Brisbane.
Oh, you're from Brisbane?
Yeah, from Brisbane.
What's wrong with you?
The money's good out here. So that's why they pay us well to work out here, I guess, because no one else is willing to work out here.
I come down here July last year. I'm from Darwin way, so I'm FIFO. 3 weeks on, 1 week off.
And is this worse than Darwin?
Oh, hell worse way than Darwin.
Yeah.
Way worse.
They start throwing stuff. I don't know what they throw. They throw something.
Looks like they're throwing type of gravel or rocks or something.
Oh, this reminds me of
rocks it up.
Yeah,
the real. So there we are. Early on, they're throwing rocks at us already. These are kids out late. Police are barely doing anything.
One night, I was walking past and they were hiding behind the cars. 3 behind the cars and 2 on the other side. And one come towards me and he said, could I have a cigarette? I don't smoke. Could I have a tobacco? I haven't got that either. I'll give us money then. And because they already grabbed me already and they grabbed my bag off me, That's why I don't carry that bag anymore. And they took whatever they took out of the bag and then they chucked the bag in one of the bins. In one of the...
Wait, here we go.
In the...
See that? Smashing the windscreen of a car. That's how bad it is. Because look, 3 to 4 years ago, I knew that Alice Springs was used to be the meth capital, the ice capital of Australia, and knowing this has actually got worse. It's actually worse now. And now it's just gained a lot of media attention.
In the Todd Mall.
They just don't care. They just nothing.
The kids are the ones you got to watch out for. They're the ones with the weapons and the
Everyone's
knives.
saying that to us.
Yeah. They're the ones with the weapons and the knives and stabbings and all that stuff. So, yeah, the kids are the ones to watch out for.
Have they come at you guys while you're working?
Oh, they're throwing rocks. I've had an operator in his truck, and he's had like rocks and stuff thrown at him through the window and smacked him in the face and whatnot. And yeah, that's why we've got security on site now.
Yeah, they're all night smashing windows or smashing something.
What are the police doing about all this?
They're doing all.
Why do you still live here?
They're doing all.
Why don't you move away? Why do you like living here?
I got my wife here. She's Aboriginal.
Oh, you're married to an Aboriginal woman?
Aboriginal woman, yeah. I'm married to an Aboriginal woman.
But you say it's it.
We've been 20 years together.
But you say that the Aboriginal children are
Yeah, here comes the kids.
the ones causing the problems for you.
Correct. Causing these kids, yeah.
This is the reality for people in Alice Springs, and from everyone we talk to, the answer is not the voice. The answer is their parents. The answer is enforcement, is giving the police the actual power to deal with it, because unfortunately, right now, there's nothing they can do.
Well, they can't do anything to the youths. Like, they can't touch them.
12 and under. That's like the kids that were throwing rocks at us the other night. The coppers grabbed him and he was 12 and under, so, all right, mate, nothing we can do. Catch you later. Go home.
You'll have them driving around in stolen cars. There'll be like 10 in a Commodore. And then like, they get pulled over and it's like, you know what you're doing wrong? It's like, no. It's like, all right, on your way. Like, they can't get touched because of how old they are.
They were down that street in Hardley Street there one night and we had 3 stolen cars go past us within the hour. And
See that, everybody? These people are stealing. You know, I've always asked this. I've always said this. I've said it in the live stream, and I'm going to say it again. Where are the street preachers? Where are the churches? Where are the parents?
And the cops just follow them along. And I said to the coppers later on, because they walked past, I said, so would you just catch them or what? And he said, no, they're underage.
How old are you? You're 12?
16.
16? Do you think there's problems in Alice Springs?
Yeah.
What kind of problems?
Kissing her.
The children wandering like a lost sheep dogs.
Lost sheep. That reminds me of a Bible verse. my people has been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. Jeremiah 50 verses 6. That, what she said, lost sheep, that's what that verse, what reminds me of. What she reminds me of. You know, the people, the kids going around like lost sheep, you know. My people has been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. Jeremiah 50 verses 6.
Dogs. And they're breaking every houses, including the main big bus holders passing by.
I reckon it's scary to live here.
Scary? You seen them fights?
There. I was thinking to go down Adelaide anywhere, travel. I'd rather go and with too much kids.
Most of the kids that are running around don't even have their own bedrooms. You know, a safe place to go back to.
How old are you? Oh, wait, just for... Look at that one. Oh, look at that one. Wow.
I've heard other stories about what happens in those type of rooms. It's pretty horrific.
Wow. You're shocked?
I mean, damn, that's some crazy stuff right there. I mean, this reminds me of that. I don't know if you watch this dude, man, but this guy named The Real Reporter, you can look him up on YouTube. This dude travels to all these, foreign countries, to see the standards of living over there, man. I mean, shit, this reminded me of one of those videos now.
Yeah, this is real. This is the real journal. This is Rebel News, and this is not mainstream news. Just letting people in the chat know. You can actually watch it, but if you see, if you actually see mainstream news on this, they'll call the white people white supremacists, and it's crazy. All the words that are thrown. I know there's a person in the chat, Yeah, it's Rebel News. I can show you a big storm coming over here. Yeah, it's Rebel News. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see the rest of it, unless you want to play the rest. But
we'll let them see the rest, just so I don't get a copyright strike on the video. They can check out the rest of it, man. But yeah, it's definitely...
Yeah, this has been done live, so I had to skip some... I'm gonna have to skip some bits because... But if you're doing a live stream... See, I'm doing a video where, I can edit. See, that's live, so... Even me, sharing a link in the live chat, I have to do that live too, so, yeah.
Definitely sad, seeing the position that the youth are in over there, man, because it's like, shit, if they're, already out there, living that lifestyle right now, just imagine them, in 5-10 years in the future, from that, that time, you know what I'm saying? It's, damn sad the situations that a lot of these, young ones are in.
Now, this is another shot. This is from mainstream news. And
high emotions have...
this is mainstream.
Yeah, mainstream news. Yeah, and here comes the propaganda from, ABC, the tax-funded paid news media company.
Mainstream news, ABC News. This is what they... guess who pays for the mainstream news here in Australia?
I'm not sure.
Guess what? It's the state. The taxpayers pay for this news. They pay for ABC, and I don't like mainstream news because it's pretty left. It's pretty woke. Now, this is a woke First, you saw the conservative point of view. Now, this is the woke point of view. This is ridiculous.
Have seen a huge town meeting shut down in Alice Springs. It was organised by local business owners who are considering launching a class action against the Northern Territory government over the town's crime surge. But the meeting was stopped after just 20 minutes. Indigenous Affairs correspondent Carly Williams is in Alice Springs.
This meeting last night was called Save Alice Springs, and it was organised by business owners in town. It was at the Convention Centre, which is one of the biggest buildings in Mbarntwa here in Alice Springs, and it was jam-packed. I've heard upwards of 2,000 people attended. When we arrived, there was cars parked kilometres down the road. So on the agenda was property damage, people not feeling safe in their own homes and in their own cars. There was talk of suing the Northern Territory government for a whopping $1.5 billion.
You know, it's interesting that they flash all these white people here, and yet there were black people here too, so they'll tell you the truth.
I'm also going to pause it too. They said that there was not a single kid in the meeting, yet there's a kid there and there's a kid over there. So listen to it very carefully.
Truth, right? Then they were going to go on about, oh, it's racist. A bunch of white. You probably heard what you probably know what I mean. ETT right. About. I don't know whether you've actually you probably heard about all that jazz.
Yeah, me murmuring because I've heard this. From all these feminists and all that, they all think everything's racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic. All the phobias, you know what I mean? Like, woke. Too much wokeness going on.
Yeah.
Because business owners say the government has failed to keep their businesses safe. The meeting was shut down after 20 minutes by organisers after a couple of speeches because there was some protesting and some singing out. So the organisers said they wanted to shut that down. People were leaving early and streaming out of that convention centre in Alice Springs. We spoke to some who were quite emotional. One resident who was non-Indigenous said the meeting was, quote, a disgusting display of white supremacy. Another said that...
Okay, what are your thoughts on that? So
we're leaving early and
Now, I'm just going to mention this. I forgot to mention this in the live stream, but you can probably see that the news reporter, most of the time, is looking directly into your eye. So, in your subconscious mind, when she says the word white supremacist racist, they are trigger words. And then subconsciously, you think, oh, that town meeting was racist, full of white supremacists, even though there were people of colour there and children. They don't want to tell you the full story. It's only the one-side narrative. They tell you truth, but they'll go on with their rubbish. And I've done lots of explaining, I should say. I explained it in this video.
Streaming out of that convention centre in Alice Springs. We spoke to some who were quite emotional. One resident who was non-Indigenous said the meeting was, quote, a disgusting display of white supremacy. Another said that...
Okay, what are your thoughts on that? So the townspeople, they had a meeting about all the crime and all that, and now this is state-funded, so they're going to make it a race type of thing. So what are your thoughts on that one? Is it really white supremacy? Or am I supposed to say that? Or am I supposed to say that word, white supremacy?
I guess from now on we'll use code because I don't know if they'll let it or not, man. I don't know. They always try to, the goal, man, is to put the the races of people against each other, just like how they do with, the Democrats and the Republicans, right? It's always about putting, the blue versus the red together. It causes division among the people, right? So as the people are all, arguing each other, based on their color of their skin or their political ideologies and beliefs, the world leaders, they can sit back comfy, and not have to worry about the population, finding out. It's like, wait a second, why is it you're taking, millions of our tax dollars away each day and giving it to these space organizations, giving us fake pictures about the world? It's like, shit, they don't want people to, be, coming together and figuring that out. They must, want to have the population. They much rather have the population, arguing amongst, each other about these, small.
Just the other thing too, when it comes to tax, should you pay your tax? It's a good question. Should you pay tax? Should you pay tax when the government goes around funding woke left-wing media, woke education? They're sending money overseas to conflicts like, Russia, Ukraine, where, Australia shouldn't even get involved in the first place. Yet you have, and also on top of this, a lot of these children, their parents receive Centrelink benefits. So the question is, and also the council, they spend money on, a lot of these child grooming events that are happening in the major cities in Australia. I'm just going to call them that, child grooming events. So, also, all these other projects too that are used to control people, So much left-wing woke propaganda going on. But again, I'm not saying don't pay your tax. I'm just saying you should question, where your taxpayer money goes to. And I'm speaking to all you Australians out there.
Small issues so that they don't start asking the big questions that the quote-unquote authority is not ready to answer, such as, why is it that, all of the pictures of space are cartoons, right? They're scared of the people, rising up and asking these real questions. That's what the elite of the world are scared of. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, I had some technical issues. I wanted to change the profile picture, then the screen just cut out. So, yeah, it was a really good video, what I was doing.
Oh, he dropped. I'll give him I'll drop a link for him if he wants to come back on. The link in the chat for you, Luke, if you want to hop back on, man. We'll give him a minute.
Yeah, sometimes you do have, technical issues while live stream. This is live, by the way. I'm probably going to put this on a Premiere after I record this. And I'll be posting all the links. So, yeah.
Sure. Another negative thing. Yeah, exactly, man. It's, nothing but negativity, right? It's one negative thing after another negative thing. Yeah, exactly, man. It's, nothing but negativity, right? Day in, day out. It's like, shit. I remember, being like 10 years old, I always used to, keep the news on in the background, when I was, playing my Legos or, on YouTube, always leave the news on in the background, man. But what I can remember, it's like, shit, yeah, it was, sad, depressing, and, stuff going on, say in 2011, 2012 as well. But I mean, damn, that's nothing compared to, what it is right now, man. That's nothing compared to, the things that are going on, on the news every day, taking place in the world right now. And you got idiots out here, saying that, we shouldn't be concerned about any of this stuff, right? Like Primal Man, right? Be on there like, there's nothing to worry about. We're living in the kingdom, right? Just enjoy yourself because this is the kingdom of heaven, here on earth today. It's like, shit, how the hell is this, this is the kingdom of heaven, here on earth. If here it is, it's they say that 1 out of 4 children over here in the United States suffers from not having enough food on the table to eat every night. We're at 1 out of 4. We don't even have to mention the fact that some parents are having to minimize their meal portions or skip meals altogether just so they have enough to feed their children. Right over here in America, right? Supposedly the the richest country to ever exist, right? The most powerful nation on earth. Here it is. They have 900 military bases worldwide, but somehow at the same time, in this country, right, the most powerful nation on earth, they still have 1 in 4 children that suffers from not having enough food to to eat. Luke, there's a link in the chat for you, man, if you want to hop back on. And if you do, just don't bring on the video, man. I don't know if they had something to do with it, but if you want to hop on, which I'm on.
No, it wasn't the video. It was actually, technical issues. Me trying to change a profile picture.
Only going for a couple more minutes. I'll probably only go for maybe 10, 15 more minutes, man. But if you want to hop on, there's a fresh link in the chat for you. It dropped you out when you're in the middle of a statement. All right, you there, man?
Okay, I'm there. Okay, there must be no. Okay. Where were we? Now let's go.
Okay, now I just want to talk about that the issue with the bed. So there's 2 gangs called the Bloods and the Crips. Okay, I'm just gonna play it more.
Let's go back to where were we up to? Okay.
Yeah, play it a bit more of the Bloods and the Crips. So we got that gang influence in Alice Springs. So yeah, you need to listen.
In the middle of reading a news report, brave times. Okay, well, you got it?
Yep.
Okay, so let's see this through the chats. Okay, we're going to continue this, right? She's going to go on and on about how about the race, make it a skin color issue. Just listen. This is state-funded news, people.
That there was tension and anger in the room. Other attendees from the business side said they were happy to be heard about their concerns about feeling unsafe in town. Let's take a listen to what some of the residents had to say. Could be putting that $1.5 billion into dealing with the causes of the crime, which is poverty-based crime. They could be putting it into.
You can probably tell. You can probably tell the look, just to see what type of ideology some of these people have, whether they're rainbow or feminist or whoever. You can probably tell easily. Right. Just use your discernment. Just listen.
Do housing, bilingual education, youth programs, kids on country not in custody, all the programs that have shown to work, but instead they want to take punitive approaches. They want to reward the landlords, and it's just a total white supremacist fest in there. And I'll tell you what, the vibe.
Reward the landlords. Wow, sounds like communism.
Was scary.
It's like the woman's trying to bash capitalism, and a communist would jump on and say, it's capitalism. It's not capitalism. It's not.
And Kelly, how did Indigenous...
Wow, white W supremacist vibe. Scary. Wow. Just wow.
As custodians who went to the meeting feel?
I spoke to some custodians yesterday before the meeting, like William Tilmount from Children's Ground, a grassroots organisation, and he said, I'm not going to go. I don't want to be in that space. The elders that I spoke to at the conference said they felt blindsided by the plan to sue the government. They didn't know if that was the best step forward. They thought there would be more realistic solutions being talked about at this conference. Something that was missing from the meeting, Joe, was...
Now, as you probably heard, the townspeople are getting so fed up that they want to sue the government. And it's very interesting that this news organisation is government funded. So what they're going to do, and this is what they do, is deflect. So what they're going to do is deflect this. And they're going to cause, and they're going to give names. They're going to say, it's a race-based issue, just to deflect. Because the reality is the townspeople are angry at the government for allowing all the youths running around. You know,
was kids, was young people. Elders were concerned that young people, considering they are in the spotlight at the moment for issues on the ground here in Alice Springs, they were concerned they weren't included because...
No, they were included in the event. I said that a bit, I think 5 to 10 minutes earlier, around 5 to 10 minutes earlier, they were included. I've said that. And to all those don't believe me, so it's about 3 hours and 8 minutes into the video. Well, 3 hours, 8 minutes and 24 seconds into the video. I'll play back where I was going to play back. That's what I dropped out then, and I... There it is. There are children. See, that's a child, and that's a child. So, wow. Actually, probably, if you got a hawk's eye, you can probably spot the people of colour in the back. So, ABC's obviously lying, and I've caught them out lying. So, that was 10 minutes before. And it's like 30 minutes, and it's taken me 30 minutes to explain 2 clips that are half the time. Half the time. It's crazy.
Spotlight at the moment for issues on the ground here in Alice Springs. They were concerned they weren't included because they would have had some things to say.
And Carly, how's the mood there in Alice Springs? And this has all been sparked by the crime surge. What's the extent of that and the issues there?
It is pretty quiet in Alice Springs this week. Of course, we had the PM, Anthony Albanese, here last week. There's a bit of media in town. We are just...
Oh, Anthony Albanese. Oh, just... Labor and Liberals. Oh, we're going to do something. Not really. So sit there gathering more cash. That's all they usually do.
One day away, though, Joe, from a decision on whether those intervention-era blanket booze bans will be reintroduced for good. In Alice Springs today, it's another...
Booze bans. Do you really think that's going to help? No.
A day of restrictions on takeaway grog, but the community is feeling more divided than ever.
Reminds me of a Bible verse. It says here in Galatians chapter 5 verses 21. Envying, and this is King James Version, envyings, murderers, drunkenness, reviling, and such like, of the which I tell you before, I have also told you in times past, and they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God. Drunkenness. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness. Verse 23. Meekness, temperance against. Such there is no law, as they are Christ's have crucified. And they that are Christ's have crucified the flesh with the afflictions of lust and lust. See, that's what the Bible says. That's what it reminds me of. You know, then the government wanted to put booze bans. Look, yes, drunkenness is a sin. Yes, it is. You will not inherit the kingdom of God at all. You're not. Yeah. So, that's what it reminds me of.
Like I said, it is quiet. The kids that I've met in town, they say they're very bored and there's nothing to do at home. And unfortunately, some of them don't have homes, is what they have said. It's also back to school today, Joe. So
Whoa. First of all, they said Anthony Albanese, which is the PM, the Prime Minister of Australia, he actually went to Alice Springs. Then they were saying that the youth was bored. Then they were saying that a lot of the Indigenous people didn't like the town's meeting because they thought it was some white thing. State media, I tell you, like, see, the other clip I showed you, that they're telling the real story, but the media likes to say, oh, they're conservative, they find every excuse under the sun. Yeah, even that was over Yemeni, and he doesn't even look white. It's actually Jewish. So, yeah.
We'll see how that has an effect this week.
Carly Williams reporting there from Alice Springs in the Northern Territory.
ABC.
I didn't even know you guys had ABC News over in Australia, man. I thought that was just something you had over in the States.
Yeah, ABC News. They even got their YouTube channel. ABC News. See? I'll show you. ABC News Australia, and it's got 1.77 million subs. And this is all the people that's on there. So we've got a Muslim, we've got a white girl, we've got an Aboriginal, we've got a man, we've got an Aboriginal man. I don't know what, I think it's a Vietnamese type of woman. And we got a white man. So this is all the stuff the ABC News is pumping out. They even got that too, Chinese, and I'm not going to say just as rental crisis. There's a rental crisis.
But remember this, just as you said, right, the housing crisis, right, the rent crisis. I mean, hell, just over in New York, I saw something the other day, man, is that there was, thousands upon thousands of people over there, this month who are at risk of being evicted. But somehow, keep this in mind, with all of this that we're seeing, somehow, Primal Man and all these other full preterists, they'll go around and tell me and you, there's nothing to see here. There's nothing to be concerned about with all this, with all of these hardships that people are going through. We're living in the kingdom of heaven right now. I don't even know how anybody could convince themselves that we're living in the kingdom of heaven where we have stuff going on like what we're seeing here in these clips. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then you have other people saying that we're not even living in the end times. This is just mind-boggling the minds of some of these people out here, man.
Going back to the Alice Springs one, it's like, where's the church? Where are the street preachers? There was no street preachers in the rainbow parades. Why isn't there any street? Where is the church? ETD, where's it? Where's the church?
I mean, hell, man, the sad, unfortunate truth is, a lot of these churches, they'll be right there supporting them, right? Instead of, trying to correct them, to have them turn away from that lifestyle, the church will be...
Yeah, when an atheist woman said, oh, you better correct them. Oh, you're forcing your religious beliefs down people's throat. Rah, 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 rah. Well, but look at Alice Springs. Look at all these, people. All these people, like... the reason why Australia is in the shape as it is is because the church is not doing their job. Then, as soon as the church does its job, people do false witness and they falsely accuse the church of doing, they just accuse the church of doing stuff they haven't been doing. They'll
be right there, and give them full support. They'll be like, oh, we support, our rainbow community members, right? We love and support them all, right? Giving them support for this type of...
But yet again, the atheists, they don't want to comment on the church getting involved, promoting the LGBT and all that. That's another issue too, atheism. But anyway, that's a whole different subject altogether. Same as with the rainbows, it's a whole different subject together. But we are dealing with the Alice Springs crisis.
Type of wicked lifestyle. So that's a sad truth that you gotta swallow. That even these organizations that claim that they're trying to teach people the scriptures, they'll be right behind them. Trying to make them feel accepted, in their lifestyles of unrighteousness.
It's crazy, TT. And same as with the crime. Where is the church in the hood? Where's the church in towns that experience enormous amount of crimes? Do you know where the churches are dealing with the crime and the youth crisis and the youth spending nights in those houses where you've seen the image. You've seen the image, haven't you? Actually, I'll bring up. I know ABC News, they don't bring up the image. I'll go back to yeah. Here it is. Where's the church providing beds, helping the youth?
Looks like that window's boarded up in the background too or something.
Yes.
It's because of the crime rate. The crime level in Alice Springs. That's why the window's boarded up.
I mean, I can continue playing this. It gets a bit awful. This is crowd-funded media. So the crowd donate money to him and he brings out the truth. And he travels to all these places for the donated money. And now, if you go here to the comments, it says, and I have to agree with this, I am disgusted in the lack of diversity in these street gangs. Labor, Greens need to call out and demand more, diverse representation. As an Aboriginal man, when I was bored as a kid and I had no money, I'll go fishing, camping, hunting and play sports. BS, excuses, and they are bored. There's a lot of other small towns in Australia, just letting you know, that also experience youth crime too. It's not just Alice Springs, which is the biggest one. There's even towns around my state that actually have.
Yo, Luke, have you ever ran into the GMS Australia camp?
They're too far up north. They're in another state.
I mean, those dudes.
They're too far up north. They're in another state.
I mean, those dudes. Look, man. I don't know why they don't like me, but for some reason, man, they're on there, talking smack about me on their channel. It's like, damn, I don't know what I did to those dudes.
It's crazy.
Right.
It's just crazy. It's terrible, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely, man.
Oh, it gets worse with the youth too.
To go back to.
How old are you?
15.
15. Are you boys going to be out all night?
Yeah.
What are we doing here tonight?
Just walking around.
What is that?
Betting.
Why are you not at home?
Because it's boring.
No, they're a good kid. Some of them are bashing people up and breaking stuff. Some of them are being violent.
Yeah, they are, but they do that when they bored or they got no money,
I know, but I get bored. But when I'm bored, I don't bash anyone up.
Crime doesn't have an age. Doesn't matter if you're 10.
See that? Smashing. Actually, I'll play it back.
When they bored or they got no money,
I know, but I get bored. But when I'm bored, I don't bash anyone up.
Crime doesn't have an age. Doesn't matter if you're 10 or 20 or 50. You do a crime, you do the time. That's it. You can't have these revolving doors that allow them to keep having free reign over the town. Unfortunately, law-abiding citizens such as yourself, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that privilege.
Is it as dangerous as we hear?
Oh yeah, and more. I've been walking down the mall and had 5 of them pick me up and beat me with a stick.
Originally, I was born in Los Angeles, California.
You grew up there?
Born and raised.
Hey, I wonder if California it's big, isn't it?
Yeah,
California.
Yeah, I mean, damn, over in California, man, it's like $12 for a pack of eggs over there. It's crazy how expensive it is in California.
Cost of living's going up. And there's other reasons why. But the whole can of worms in itself too. But, we're going to focus on Alice Springs.
California, man.
Man, this security guard, he's on the ball, isn't he? You do the crime, you do the time. Jeez. He's... And a lot of... Geez, the more you watch this, it's just... Yeah, it's pretty terrible, eh?
What are the two gangs there?
The Crips and the Bloods.
Well, whoa. You heard that, ETT?
Yeah.
We need Jay here. We need to get Sacramento Truth here.
Yeah, he's all into that stuff, man. He could tell you the whole history of all these groups and all that.
Yeah. Too little Jay, he knows about the Cribs and the gangs. I know that, brother. See, ETT, he let me on his live stream and we streamed. And I've also been let on to Sacramento Truth Movement streams. And this one is... He knows about the Bloods and the Cribs. And look, I know a bit about it. The very fact that it's come over here, it's crazy. Crazy.
was like, so what? The Crips and the what? The Crips and the wow. Since it's, I bet you it's extended from Obama. What do you think? Obama's involved in this?
Could be a possibility. Man, you got guys going around saying that you know, that Obama or Trump's is the Antichrist is what you got guys going around, you know, talking about, man. You know, so as I said, it's a whole bunch of you know, weird doctrines that people are going around, you know, teaching, man. As I said, this is, and I've been on this platform for years, as you know.
You know, I've been going on like this for over 40 minutes, and it's taken me over 40 minutes to explain 2 clips. And I haven't even got up to the next clip. You know? And I've got evidence that, you know, it's the parents that are not getting involved. And the church, you can easily tell that, where's the church in this? Look, if it'll cost money. Look, if I could just go on a plane, it'd be nice. The honest truth, it'd be nice to go on a plane, go to Alice Springs, do street preaching, not the street preaching and rebuking. I'll be going there and helping the community out, because that community needs help. I don't know what the church is doing, you know,
As you know, but all I can say this, man, over the past 2 years, we've seen such madness and such wacky theories. It's unbelievable, you know, some of the stuff that these guys are on YouTube trying to teach the people, right? You got this dude, Perry, he'll come on here and he'll say, you know, me and Luke, right? Perry will say, me and Luke, right, in Bible Defender, we're leading people to sin because we teach people to keep God's commandments, is what he'll say. But he's teaching people the truth of Christ because he's telling them believe on Christ and you can commit murder as long as you don't call it sin. That is just the most backwards logic that I have ever seen. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Wow. The Cribs and the Bloods, hey. That's, wow. Imagine if Sacramento Truth Movement heard that. He'd be like, what are they doing in Australia?
Right.
Yeah. We've noticed they're down here too. How do you think it ended up here?
Unfortunately, they don't have that many role models to look after anymore. I mean, there's a lot of domestics, drunks, and stuff like that. So the kids nowadays, their culture revolves around the media, social media. And it's played a major impact on them as well too. So they watch the rap videos and everything else like that, and they're influenced by other black people and around the world, other places around.
You know, I've made videos exposing Hollywood and how Hollywood just influence. Look, there's many people out there that expose Hollywood, and I should jump on the board too, because I've seen some satanic. The Satanism coming out in the wide open, and you got people going around saying that it's all myth and legends, yet Hollywood is constantly bombarding people, telling people, promoting Satanism. And Satanism is another subject. It's another can of worms. A call for an uprising talks about it. It's a whole other video too in itself. But look, I'm going to continue playing on.
Around the world who share the same skin tone, and then they want to be like them, right? Because their role models are lacking here, unfortunately.
Yeah, nothing to do.
And what's more fun here? What's fun about being on the street?
Walking around.
Hanging with the friends? Yeah. Hey, do you guys cause?
Yeah, getting drunk, walking around, doing drugs, having sex out of wedlock. You know what? Sin is fun for a season, people. Now, Springs, you need to repent. You need to turn to the Lord, God. You know, you need to repent and turn. Suffer the consequences.
Cause trouble or not?
Sometimes.
Sometimes what kind of trouble?
Breaking in there.
Really? Is that fun?
No.
Do you get in trouble for it?
Yeah.
From who? The coppers get you in trouble? What kind of trouble do they get you in here? What kind of trouble do coppers get you?
You know, it gets sad. You know, there's people that might have mixed emotions over this.
doing here?
Juvenile.
Oh, juvenile.
Yeah, we got Juvie.
Oh, you guys been to Juvie?
Yeah, all about that. Yeah,
It's shit. Oh, it's boring. But are you scared? Are you scared to go to Juvie?
No.
What is that?
Oh,
Oh, you got brothers there?
Yeah.
What are the symbols? What are the symbols you're doing?
Like blood and Crips, it's like, this is Australia, not America.
They think they're in America?
Yeah, they think they are. Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. Just they watch like all the movies and all that. The Crips and Bloods.
Smoke cigarette with Crip niggas.
What are the gang symbols? Can you teach us? What's that? Is that like American? Like in America?
Alice Springs.
In Alice Springs? Is it Alice Springs like America?
Oh,
No. A-Town. We call it A-Town.
okay. Now, this is disproving all these people saying, "Oh, America is not Babylon." This is proof that America is Babylon. America is so big and so influential that American influence is also in Australia too. And that woman, you probably heard, she said, "This is Australia, not America." Why do you need to bring the Bloods and the Crips down here?
Yo, I got a verse to go along with what you're saying real quick. You saw how, for the listeners, they saw how they focused on their, that one reason why they're like this, is they took influence from, American culture and, in these rap videos and, American ideology. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 2. It says...
So, Revelation chapter 17, verses 2. Now, this is live, right? So, what I'm going to do is... Now, because this is an edited video, I'm going to bring up the Bible verse. Revelation chapter 17, verses 2. Okay? I'm going to bring... With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-coloured beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and the woman was astray in purple and scarlet colour, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness, and her fornication, and upon her forehead was written a mystery, Babylon the great, the mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. That's what it says here. Let's go back to the video. It
says, and with whom the kings...
So ETT's going to read it.
Kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Right, so the inhabitants of the earth, they've been made drunk with the philosophy and the ideology of the United States. So then this is a clear example of that. That America has influence over all these countries around the world, right? America is that Babylon that has influence over all of these. Right, so the inhabitants of the earth, they've been made drunk with the philosophy and the ideology of the United States. So then this is a clear example of that. That America has influence over all these countries around the world, right? America is that Babylon that has influence over all of these people. It's not talking about Jerusalem. It's not talking about the Vatican City, as Rock Upon Him would say. So these guys out here, man, are just, off the chain, out of whack. But right here, even as, going by what they just said, that here is proof towards the scripture that we just read. Even all the way over in Australia, they're still under the influence of the United States, from across the world.
I'd say they're drunk. What do you think? Are they drunk off America?
Absolutely.
I bet you're gonna take a short of that clip I just said. Actually, mate, feel free to take a short of the clip of what I've just played and say that this is proof that, just give that Bible verse, and that this is proof that America's making the nations drunk. And
yeah, I mean that's all we need right there. I mean that's solid evidence in and of itself, right? That these nations across the world, in this case specifically, Australia, right? The youth in Australia, their minds are influenced by what they see on the TV and what they hear, coming from the United States, right? America is that country that has the influence over the earth. Oh, that's why if you go to the same chapter, right? Revelation 17, verse 18, it says the woman that you've seen is that great city that reigns over the kings of the earth. Meaning what? America, she puts her ways into all these nations on the earth. All these nations set their countries up to be just like the United States. They all take the influence of America. Like I shared this story once before, man. I had a dude who, contacted me over my social media, and he was like, "Hey, look, man, I'm over here in Australia. Can you help me sneak into the United States? Can you help me, sneak into America?" It's like, wait a second, what the hell? Help you sneak into America? But it just shows you that, these people from around the world, they're willing to risk their lives to find quote unquote better life over here in America. That's why not too long ago there was a news story I was listening to like 2 months ago on the news. They found a immigrant ship that had like 100, 200 people crammed onto a small boat, coming over from a foreign country to the United States, so they could try to live a better life. So they all risked their lives.
And the crazy part is, they all think the Bible is not true and it doesn't apply to their lives. And yet, I see Bible prophecies popping like popcorn. It's crazy. I see Bible prophecies happening everywhere. People mocking the Bible, which is part of the prophecy. The Bible says that bluntly, loud and clear. Man, it's crazy.
To sail across the ocean to find this land, America, where they could try to have a better life, right? So these people are willing to risk their own lives to find that American dream. Go ahead.
Wow. It's like the security guard. He said it right, didn't he? Right. The security guard that you just watched. What do you think of him? Did he just set it black and white?
Yeah, exactly that.
And he's from America, so he knows what's going on here. It's crazy. It really is, eh? Okay, this is they do all these gang signs. I think we need sacramental truth here. Just look at it. Jeez, so you might even recognize some of the hand gestures.
Town. Okay.
They're a bit lost. But all children need guidance after all. So
yeah, all these children need guidance, and they need a street preacher. They need GMS Australia to expand, spread out. But instead, they're too busy being hermits and preaching in the one city.
If you don't get guided, they're going to come up with their own worldview.
These group of girls were walking past and they kept yelling out to watch out. I thought, they were just having a joke. So I looked behind me, nothing there. Next minute, Land Cruiser, about a metre away from me. Just jumped that roundabout, went through. There would have been probably 8 to 10 kids in the car. I just kept doing laps.
So were they aiming for you? They were just having fun?
No, they don't really care. If they hit you, they hit you. If they don't, they don't.
Where are you from? How long have you been here?
January.
Money?
Yeah, not worth it.
Why are you still here?
I'm waiting for my flight out.
Yeah. Oh, really? That real? You're done?
Yeah, I've seen blokes flog their missus. Fuck, we had, I was down there having a beer after work, got abused by some lady. Been abused at work. It's odd, be careful with your camera too, they don't like being filmed.
Yeah, we had the camera crew when the Prime Minister was here. They set up for about 2 minutes and had shoes and rocks thrown at them within the first few minutes. And then they had to drive out real quick.
Wow. What do you think of that one, ETT? There was a camera crew and people were throwing rocks and stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff, man.
And the Prime Minister was there and they were going to throw rocks at the Prime Minister. Wow.
Man. These people are out of whack out here, man. Everybody's out of whack, especially over here in Babylon the Great, man. I mean, these people out here are off the chain out here, man. But I mean, this is just, this is terrible, the situation's going on. This is why Christ said, man, that, hey, look, if he didn't come back and shorten those days, nobody would be left to be saved. It's going to get so hectic out here, especially when we get into the Great Tribulation, which, we're in the beginning stages of coming into it, right? As the scriptures say, when you see, these signs come to pass, such as the earthquakes, the uproars of the people, nations rise against nations, those are just the beginnings of the sorrows, right? So that's what we're in now. We're just in the beginning stages of the great sorrows, so, this is just crazy. We haven't seen nothing yet because we're not even in the Great Tribulation yet. We're just coming to the very start, right? We're just in those beginnings of those sorrows. It's getting much worse, here on out. And these people are already off edge. And it's like, hell, man, you remember back to 2020, right? People were killing each other, well, damn near, ready to kill each other over, packs of toilet paper out here in America, man, when they had the toilet paper, shortage due to, the Corolla situation. So it's like, damn, if people are willing to kill each other almost over, some, toilet paper, what's going to happen when it's over food next time? So these people are not ready for what's coming out here, man.
It is going to be over food soon. It is going to happen.
Wow, it's crazy out here. This is the centre. Plus, it's also going to have to meet. It's the ice capital of Australia too. Lots of ice drug dealers around Alice Springs too. Just having that note.
How long have you been here?
About 10 years.
10 years. Yeah. Has it gotten worse over the 10 years, or is it about the same?
Definitely has gotten worse. Yeah, people are packing up. Businesses are closing down left and right. People are getting sick of it, and they're just not, waiting for the government to step in anymore. They're tired of it, and they're leaving.
Yeah, we're putting in.
I don't think the government is going to step in if they... Okay, well, I have explained this... Well... It's either they're too pussy, they don't care. The town's on edge. ABC's too busy trying to make a race war. Government spending their money on rubbish. Oh. Yeah.
Putting in like these, the upgrades. So if you look down on Bar Street down there, you'll see like a sort of replication of what we're doing for the rest of the streets around here.
It's good to see council has that much money to dig a hole for a tree.
Yeah, that's nothing. Then they're putting in all these structures and everything that are like a fair few million or whatnot.
There's boarded up windows everywhere.
Everywhere. A lot of businesses aren't around anymore because just kids, they just throw rocks and shit and just carry on breaking in. And
wow. See that?
Yeah, it's crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, the government's spending millions on digging a hole on the streets and putting structures over here and there, and yet the townspeople are ready to sue the government. Then the government came in, had a bit of a speech, then they went out. It's like, I think it's like the government, it's like they either don't care or they're too scared to do anything. Or it's like what, Sacramento Truth Movement would have said. They create the problem, right? Everyone's reacting to the problem, and the solution, you probably see that they could put military. What do you think? Could they put military in the middle of Australia, or what do you think? Martial law?
If it came to that point, eventually they could do that. But yeah, a lot of these things, they're creating a crisis so they can get a reaction, and then they can bring in a solution, right? To to cut down on the the quote unquote freedoms of the people. They create these.
Plus, don't forget about the smart city agenda too. I wouldn't be surprised if the solution is, the crime wave will become so bad that not only businesses are shutting, they could set buildings alight, which would make way for new infrastructure. The government will come in, right, under, some tyrannical leader, because, I hear from people, oh, we're past the stages of tyrannical leaders, blah, blah, blah. It's been like 10 years. No, you got North Korea. Kim Jong-un's a tyrannical leader. I wouldn't be surprised, better not get involved with Ukraine and Russia. There could be tyrannical leaders in both countries. Wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if, the way Australia's going, that we could actually elect some tyrannical leader. The Greens Party is full of tyrannical leaders. I've seen them. Like, some people in the Labor and Liberals, some people are tyrannical, crazy. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. Oh, burn the whole Alice Springs down, then government comes, martial law, then they're actually already doing it right now, rebuilding structures, put multi-million-dollar... That's what I heard, multi-million-dollar structures. It's taken me an hour to explain 2 clips, one that's over 4 minutes and one that's over 12 minutes. Just to explain it in detail.
Situation so they can come in with a, quote unquote answer to these problems that they actually created to begin. That's part of the evil scheme that they have, to play on the masses of the population.
So what's going to happen? But what if the government gets sued? What's the government going to do? Are they going to... It'll get interesting because the townspeople are calling for like you probably heard that old lady, a military or something like that to come in. It's like the townspeople want like martial law to control the kids. Yet there's not a single church in sight helping. No street preacher, nothing. Like, what's going on? Like I'll play the rest anyway.
This is where they're putting all the money.
You can play the rest, man.
It is very interesting, yeah.
Most adults that I've spoken to.
Oh, what happened?
I said you can play the rest, but then I'm going to have to log off for the night because it's almost 4 hours I've been on, man.
Oh, yeah, 4 hours.
You tell me they're too scared to walk out at night, especially in this specific area. How about you? You afraid?
Well, I'm about 2 meters and about 130 kilos, so.
Share this far and wide. Let the world know what the people of Alice, black and white, all think about what's going on. And then check out all our reports at therealvoice.com.au.
Okay.
Share all the reports there.
Yeah, that was it. He goes on with his promotions and that.
Right.
Now, I'm going to end with, you got any more say on to that? Last words on that one?
Yeah, man, it's crazy, and that's just in your country, man. So it's like, damn, there's how many countries? There's 195, countries that are on Earth, man. So if you were to take all these countries into consideration, it's like, damn, the people are out of whack, and this place, man, the whole world needs to be, reset. The Most High is going to reset this place when He sends His Son, Christ Yahushua back. The Most High is going to reset this earth, just like what He did, thousands of years ago with the Great Flood, right? Only spared, 8 people and a couple of animals. But this time when Christ comes, He's going to wipe out almost everybody except for a remnant of chosen people. He's going to reset this place and He's going to establish a brand new, empire on this earth. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for this place, this unrighteous time to be done away with, so that Christ can erect a new empire on earth.
You're probably seeing me scroll. This is the rent crisis.
Then I go on with the rent crisis. So if you want to see the rest of the video of the live stream, it's about 4 hours and 30 minutes long. I'll put a link into the description of that. Now we're going to talk about, I'm going to go on to Rebel News and I'm going to show you what's been happening with the this will back me up too. I'm going to show you some more information on this Alice Springs before I leave. Yeah, here's a video. It's about 9 minutes. So, man, I could go on for like 2 hours about this Alice Springs crisis. Okay, it gets disturbing. It gets deeper.
Looking at those properties, it's heartbreaking. I wouldn't personally want to live there. Would you?
Oh, no way in hell. They are absolutely horrendous. I don't know how anyone could sleep in there. I mean, you've seen the amount of roaches and things like that and mice that be crawling on you all night. There is no way I would live or be able to sleep in those properties. And from the police side and civilian side here, this is why so many children are on the streets. There is not... I don't know any child that would want to spend time in that or use a toilet in that or a bath in that sort of environment or just sleep in there on the floor with cockroaches and mice everywhere and rubbish, dirty nappies, smashed windows, intoxicated people, violence, sexual offences against children, women. I've been to jobs where 4-month-old and 7-month-old babies have been raped by grown men in their 30s and 40s in environments like that. But yeah, a child... If I was one of those children, I would not be in that environment. I would be on the street as well. You would not get me to spend a night in those properties.
The streets certainly seem cleaner than that and almost safer than that.
Yeah, definitely, and definitely safer.
Avi Amini for Rebel News in Alice Springs, and what you're about to watch is another report filed at therealvoice.com.
There's a lot of reports filed, so... yeah. It's pretty, yeah, I'll let it speak for itself.
If we had some sort of facility like that, these kids, a lot of them would self-represent just to have somewhere to sleep, where they're safe, going to get some love, some interaction and some food and a shower and stuff like that. I mean, we see them here going into Kmart and they just get changed in where the new clothes is and then run out the store with new clothes. I mean, they're not doing that to be arseholes. They want clothes. They need clean clothes. And they can't shower at home. You're not getting clean clothes at home. So these are not criminal elements or organised juvenile crime gangs. These are kids that need a family and need some love.
Survival.
Exactly. Yep. And I don't know any race or religion or anything that would do anything different. They would all be the same if they were in that environment.
That's what I said. Where's the church? Where's Black Lives Matter in this? I don't see Black Lives Matter helping Alice Springs. Where's Black Lives Matter? It's been over an hour for me to make this video. And that's the outrageous part, you know. And Canary, I think, here's that woman. There's a woman, trying to remember. She was on Rebel News or InfoWars. I think one of the two, or Fox News or something like that. And she's a black African American. And she exposed where Black Lives Matter, all that donation money went to. And it will infuriate you. You know, I don't know how many times I'm going to say, where's Black Lives Matter? See, I spoke to my black Hebrew Israelite mate in America, who I knew for like 5+ years. And, you know, he does not like Black Lives Matter. And he knows other African Americans who do not like Black Lives Matter. Why? Because that movement has been hijacked by rainbows, by left-wing indoctrination, communism and Marxism. And yet they want to spend money on strippers and drag queens and all that. And all that woke rubbish. And yet Black Lives Matter, they don't care. They do not care about black lives. It's like they don't care at all. And yet people are so blind and so asleep. And they want to believe everything what the media tells them. And the other thing too, you know, I bet you there's more to the story to this. I bet you there's more that, you know, I can't even share. I got some questions and assumptions that's been going on in Alice Springs that I think I cannot share. I cannot share on YouTube. I'm going to have to go on to some other place like BitChute and Rumble. I mean, going back to the mattresses, you know, this, look at it, it's, you know, where was it? Where's that bed? Where's that picture of the bed?
And from the police side, horrendous. I don't know how anyone could sleep in there. I mean, you've seen the amount of roaches and things like that and mice that be crawling on you all night. There is no way I would live or be able to sleep in those.
Kind of reminds me of those, no, I'm going to mention it now. Kind of reminds me of those deep web videos that, you know, Reg Napa was, you know, posting about on one of his videos. And this is you know, despite all the negativity, I am going to talk about some positive light too. There was this, there was a guy in Alice Springs doing this.
That's what it's come to here in Alice Springs. Being here that many years.
Doing this.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to show you.
Why are you doing it for free? Why are you donating?
Well, like it's a big hit.
This guy's putting concrete barricades to protect the businesses from this car ramming.
Like when somebody has their door smashed in and their windows broken and it's thousands of dollars, and if we can drop a piece of concrete like that costs us $50 to make, well, it's hardly a comparison. It's got to be a community effort to pick us out of where we are now.
Well, the people we've spoken to are really grateful for your service, and good on you. Well done for standing up for the community in a way that I think many other businesses would use this as an opportunity to make extra cash on the side.
Well, like I said, it's really about everyone pulling together. Like it's not going to happen with everyone fighting their individual battles or not one person complaining. Everyone needs to come together to make that happen.
And you just keep doing it as long as it's needed. Like when are you going to run out of concrete?
I don't think we'll run out anytime soon.
Avi Mini for Rebel News in Alice Springs. And we're here today in a local business that is putting their money where their mouth is to protect their local community. We're going around town, we're seeing your brand everywhere in bollards in front of businesses. Can you tell us how that came to be?
Well, just with the current climate at the moment, with the ram raids happening and that, we've just been donating a few to businesses that are sort of getting a bit hard done by, I guess, at the moment.
How long have you been a concreter here?
We've been here for about 12 years, 12 years on and off. We've had a building company for the last 40 years.
And when did you start donating these bollards?
Probably about 6 to 8 months ago.
And what?
Yeah. So he questions about the concrete in this, video. So, and there was another video from Avi Mini. And this is the latest one. He talks about, and this is a good question.
Alice Springs, please consider chucking in a few bucks to cover the cost. Therealvoice.com.au wasn't cheap to get here, but I think...
Where are the parents?
Where are the parents? Everyone's asking this question. Where are the parents? Also, where's the church too?
They're down in the park and drinking metho and stuff like that.
Bullshit. That's a lot of bullshit. Cut the fucking parents off the fucking pension. Get the kids off the street. Mother and father should have taken the stupid kids back home where they belong to, where they've been fucking bred and born,
The parents need to be there. There needs to be other things for them to do, keep them occupied. Children are naughty. Sometimes parents need a helping hand as well, too, to provide whatever care they can. I mean, after all, the saying goes, it takes a community to raise a child, and we're living that literally right now as the whole community is trying to band together to try and raise these children.
Avi Mini for Rebel News in Alice Springs, and...
Yeah, they're all asking that. Where's the children? Where's the children? Now, this is... I know it's been like over 1 hour and 10 minutes. Over that. To explain what's going on in Alice Springs in detail. And look, Alice Springs is in the Northern Territory and I'm in New South Wales. In Rebel News, thanks to... See, it's a crowd-funded... it's crowd-funded. So the crowd funds the media instead of the mainstream media. So people will want, it reminds me of our subconscious minds. We see all this bad stuff going on, but why do we know it's bad? How do we know? And this is why. And this is the 10 Commandments, in Exodus 20. And I'm going to read them out. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt not have other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images, or likewise of any thing that is in heaven above, or is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the inquiry of the fathers upon the children, upon the third and the fourth generation of them that hate me. And showeth mercy. This is King James Version, by the way. And showeth mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath, keep it holy. The 6 days shall thou labour and do all thy works. The 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is wherein thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested on the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, and hallowed it. Honour thy father and thy mother, and thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbour. See, I've seen two. I'm going to pause it right there. I've seen 2 sins committed in Alice Springs. Obvious ones. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbour. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbour's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbour's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbour's. See, that is the 10 Commandments. Jesus Christ. See, that's the penalty of sin. If you go onto John 3:16, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring it up. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not be condemned, but have everlasting life. But John 3:18, says, see, I know John 3:16 by heart. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. For God, this is 17, for God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed. But he that believeth not is condemned already. See? I think the Spirit's making me repeat a passage of the verse. I can feel the Spirit leading me into this already, but because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is 19, and this is the condemnation, that light is come unto the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. But Jesus Christ died on the cross, people. And I'm going to end this, I'm going to end this video like this. Jesus Christ died for you, bled for you. Especially for you people in Alice Springs. You all need Jesus Christ. And I'm calling on the government. You need police. You need to toughen up the crime. Because with sin, right? Sin always has its consequences. It really does have its consequences. Okay? And I'm going to go back, yeah, it's, I was just going to end this video by saying, Jesus, you can be forgiven for your sins if you repent, turn to the Lord Jesus Christ, I'm not asking people go to a church. Going to church is not going to save you. What is going to save you is a personal relationship with the Most High and just obey and keep His commandments. Because Jesus Christ is the Lord of Lords, King of Kings, and Lord of Lords. You know, and there are politics can help a bit, but let's go to the core of the issue. It's a heart issue. The issue of Alice Springs is a heart issue. That being said, I'm going to say thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you go to my About section, you go, this is all my links. I might have to update. I have to put my BitChute link on there too. This is my Twitter, my Daily Motions, my Patron, my Unite, and my Rumble. And you can get your exclusive content on Rumble. You know, this is my Rumble right here. Please follow me on my Rumble. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share my videos everywhere. Also, please, follow me on my Twitter. And, that being said, okay, and I'm going to give a shout out to, ETT End Time Teachers for, having me on his live. I'm going to do a shout out to, what am I doing a shout out to? I'm going to do a shout out to Avi Yamini, Rebel News. He's covering the crime waves and the stories. That being said, may God bless you and your families. And stay safe.